All right, welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting together side by side for financial freedom. Let's go ahead and take another quick look here at ICP Internet Computer Protocol, because as you have seen probably on X, I've been saying that I think actually by the time we get to somewhere around mid-August, we'll be seeing ICP close or at least above $10. So right now we have got about a week for something like that to happen. And I've been following this fractal here for I think 3 months at this point. And for the most part, it has actually worked out very much well. So let's see how this thing actually plays out until then. But other than that, I still am maintaining my bullish stance here on ICP Internet Computer Protocol, because there are just a few things that I can't ignore here when it comes to this specific price action that we are seeing. So we're going to be talking about that and see how we have progressed ever since the last update right there. So before we start, I want to kindly ask you to help me spread the video by delicately tapping the like button. It will just tell the YouTube algorithm that yes, this information is very much relevant for the community. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be making more and more of these ICP updates as we get into a period which I call, no sleeping zone, because that time the price is going to be very much exciting. I think you can already see it from the fractal also that, things start very slow here. You have a rounded bottom, but by the time you start making these huge strides here, you can be anticipating candles of double digits even here in a space of like 24 hours and stuff like that. So I mean, exciting time is just about to show up here for the ICP price. In this fractal here, you see a price target of as high as like $45, $49, $50 basically. But that's not my main price target for the bull run, right? This is just, the first step. I've said this time and again. But let's get into the nitty-gritties of what we are talking about here. So again, if we want to be taking a look at the daily time frame, there are a few indicators that we want to usually take a look at here for ICP. One of them is the 50 daily moving average, and then we also want to combine it with the 200 daily moving average, because in the past it has actually given us what we call a golden cross. And a good example of that is this massive rally that we had, where you saw that there was a golden cross right here. Then of course, ever since that moment, you saw the price rising as high as something like 400%. That would be great. I mean, it's something that the community needs at this point. But coming back to where we are today, and if I may just move this fractal for a second, take a look at where we are. We are approaching another golden cross, and I have been saying that you don't necessarily need to wait until the cross has happened, because this is kind of a lagging indicator. You'll probably miss most of the gains, or at least some of the gains, before that indicator eventually flashes. So that's just one thing to look at. And looking at where the price action is today and how this rounded bottom is looking, I can safely say that the bottom is in here for the ICP price. I've said that over the last few months, and it has actually held very much strongly right there. So it's time to get optimistic. And I know a lot of people have lost patience on this whole thing, and they really don't expect any better from this price action. But I think it's in moments when we have already given up on the price action that it just pumps all of a sudden. And the most irritating part actually is that the pump may happen over only 2 weeks, and then the bear market eventually begins. But maybe 2 weeks is a little bit of an exaggeration, but let's say 1 month, right? But take a look at it in the context of how this thing has actually dragged for years and years and years. So 4 years, 5 years of dragging, only to be erased like in 1 month. And imagine probably that's the only month that you decided to give up on ICP, and that's when the pump comes. So it's very important to hodl and stay, very much convinced. I'm not obviously saying that you should do the same thing, but history has already indicated something like that here, that the time that we spent going sideways or down here in crypto is probably like 90% of the time, right? It's only about 10% of the time that we're moving towards the upside. So yeah, you have to understand that. I have already come to peace with it. So that's why I don't complain too much. Oh, the price is not doing it. I mean, it's something that has already been shown to me, something that I've, lived over the years. But in any case here, we are anticipating something great here to happen for ICP Internet Computer Protocol. We're looking outside of that price chart and trying to see, okay, look, the last rally that we had for ICP, the one that we all remember, is when ICP was pumping against the Bitcoin price. So what you see here on top is that performance of ICP versus BTC over the years. And of course, it doesn't really look all that great, but there are a few things that you can, take home here and indicate that also, look, ICP could go ahead and pump as big as like 700% against the Bitcoin price. So look, this kind of thing has been slowing down, but it has lost momentum so much. I mean, take a look at where we are. This is basically flat, right? It's not like these, massive candles when you see the price really struggling very much. Right now, this is called like the turning of the corner, right? So if we also want to be looking at the underlying indicator here, the RSI over this whole time, I think this is months at this point, since like the end of April until this point, has managed to form this bullish divergence that you can see. If I can just zoom in right there, where you see that there's almost nothing, or at least a little bit of a downward momentum in terms of like BTC versus ICP, but there is very much buying pressure that is happening right there. So ICP is obviously gaining momentum against BTC. Do we have precedence of something like this? Exactly. The last time that we had any memorable pump here for ICP is when we also had the same condition right there, where you said that, okay, momentum is kind of lost here in terms of like BTC really beating ICP, and you have got that bullish divergence. And the good thing about this bullish divergence is actually it's appearing on all time frames. You can see it on a 3 daily time frame. You can also see it on the daily time frame. So I think it's something to take away home. And this is one of the latest developments that I've seen here on ICP Internet Computer Protocol. In any case, we are looking at our fractal, which is looking very much healthy right there. On top of that, we also have got a healthy Bitcoin, which is looking to push higher. I think that this actually can be very much useful in trying to draw a lot of market participants into the crypto space. But I believe that most of the gains are going to be in altcoins and ICP as well. We're also seeing that the Bitcoin dominance is not doing well right now. And that is very, very, very good, I mean, for altcoins and ICP altogether, because you can see this rising wedge that is broken down, backtested, and getting rejected. If we now manage to set a low between 60% here, I mean, I think the party has already begun right there. So let's see how quickly this wraps up, but it's looking safe for ICP Internet Computer Protocol at the moment. But I want to just invite you to some of the trades that we're going to be taking, because I think it's trading season once again, right? Things are taking shape, and I've announced a Monero trade in the Discord group, which you can obviously join via Patreon right there. So there is a link that is in the description, which you can take a look at. Just join and you will be able to access the Discord link and see what we are trading right there. There's already a trade here on ICP that is open, but I won't be able to show you at this point because I didn't set up the exchange right at this point. But in future videos, I will show you that, and our targets are very high here for ICP Internet Computer Protocol. Actually, I forgot to mention my price targets. I talked about $45, $50 thereabout, but I go as high as $100+, then a maximum of right around $220 here for this specific cycle. So let's see what eventually happens right there. But as you can tell from my tone, I'm very much bullish on ICP, and I don't care what other people say. I go ahead with what I think. So let's see if also we can reach the $10 or close to $10 at least by mid-August. If that happens, I'm gonna be the happiest person on planet Earth. If it doesn't happen, of course, I'm gonna have egg on my face. That doesn't necessarily mean that ICP is going to $1. I heard people saying that, you say ICP is gonna go for $100, but it's actually close to going to $1. I'm like, okay, you know what? This is a story for another day. Let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. I want to thank you so much for watching the video. If you could, please delicately tap the like button, share the video with your friends and family, and I will see you on the next one. Take really, really good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.